Flying in 2025 just became a whole lot more complicated, and if you don't know these TSA changes, your next trip could take a turn for the worst. Number 10. Clear cases required for all large electronics. Your laptop might soon need more than a charger and sleeve. It'll need to be transparent. A proposed TSA rule under the Trump administration says that any electronic item larger than a smartphone must be packed inside a clear see-through case if you plan to carry it onto the plane. That includes tablets, e-readers, game consoles, and laptops. The goal? Faster inspections and easier scanning, according to TSA sources. But the reality for travelers is a bit more complicated. Security staff want to instantly see what kind of device you're carrying, and even more importantly, quickly scan barcodes or serial numbers without asking you to remove the device or power it on. These new transparent cases are expected to help them do that in seconds. From a tech perspective, this may improve efficiency at checkpoints. From a privacy standpoint, not everyone's thrilled. If you're wondering what this means for you, here's the simple truth. If this rule passes, showing up at the airport with your regular sleeve or tech pouch could get your device flagged or pulled for extra inspection. And if you're rushing to catch a flight, every minute matters. What's worse is the rule doesn't apply equally. Government officials and certain VIPs may be exempt, which is already raising eyebrows. For everyday passengers, it means investing in compliant cases before your next trip. Ideally, find one that not only fits the size of your gadget, but also protects your screen. Some cases even come with privacy shields that block people from seeing your screen from the side, a helpful feature when you're surrounded by strangers. Most importantly, before heading to the airport, snap a few photos of your device, especially showing the serial number. That gives you proof in case there's any issue or it gets taken during screening. And upload the photos somewhere safe like cloud storage, just in case. This isn't about packing lighter, it's about packing smarter because the rules are changing and tech is now on the front line. Number 9. Banned. Carry-ons from enemy countries. Your favorite headphones, your skincare, even your go-to charger, any of them could be banned from your carry-on if they come from the wrong country. Under a policy proposed called the America First Carry-On Rule, items made in nations flagged as US economic threats like China, Russia, Iran, and Venezuela could be blocked from passing through security. And this wouldn't just apply to electronics. Everyday things like lip balm, power banks, hair dryers, or even prescription items could fall under this restriction if they were made in one of those listed countries. It sounds extreme, but the idea is being pitched as a way to protect national interests and reduce foreign tech infiltration. The unintended side effects? Mass confusion at airport checkpoints. Most of us don't pay attention to where our phone or mascara was manufactured, but under this change, travelers would be held responsible for knowing the country of origin for every single carry-on item. If your product says made in China and the restriction is active, you might be told to check it, or worse, leave it behind. The truth is, much of our travel gear is made overseas, and brands we trust every day outsource their manufacturing, even if the label feels American. That's where this rule becomes tricky. A $1,000 smartphone might have to be checked or even confiscated depending on the interpretation at the airport. And the worst part? There's a possibility new fees could be introduced for checking items that were once carry-on safe. So what can you do? Start by checking the small print. Flip over your electronics and cosmetics and look at the manufacturing label. If you see a restricted country listed, don't assume it's safe just because it passed through security last time. You might not be that lucky again. When shopping for travel gear, aim for brands that clearly say made in the USA or at least countries not flagged under the proposal. It may sound inconvenient, but if it saves you from having to toss your power bank at the gate, it's worth it. The skies may be free, but what's inside your bag could now be subject to political borders. Number 8. You'll pay for heavy carry-ons. Packing smart might not just save you time, it could also save you money. A lot of it. Trump's new airport plan includes a proposed rule that limits carry-on weight to just 15 pounds. Go over that and you'll be charged, possibly $10 for every extra pound. And no, the scale at home isn't enough. You'll need to weigh your carry-on again at the airport, because if it's even 1 pound over, you're getting hit with that fee. This new policy is being pitched as a way to lighten the load on planes and speed up boarding, but there's a deeper reason. It's a potential revenue booster, especially from economy passengers. While heavier bags do cause delays during boarding, the people feeling this change the most won't be in first class. That's because the rule wouldn't apply to business and elite travelers. Yeah, really. The average traveler, meanwhile, would be forced to rethink every item. Those extra books, snacks, hoodies, chargers, and even souvenirs. Things you'd normally toss into your carry-on just in case now come with a cost. And here's the thing. Carry-ons were the last travel perk that didn't come with a hidden fee. Until now. So what should you do? Start with your luggage itself. Many rolling bags are heavier than you think, even when empty. Switching to ultralight designs can save you a few pounds right off the bat. Next, think about what you can wear instead of pack. If you've got bulky jackets or boots, wear them on the plane, even if it's hot. You can always take them off once you're seated. And don't be afraid to shift things to your personal item. Many airlines will allow a backpack or handbag that isn't weighed. Use that space wisely. Chargers, snacks, and your heaviest items can go there instead. Packing light used to be a suggestion. Now it's a financial strategy. And if you're not paying attention, the airline isn't going to warn you. They'll just charge you. Number 7. Mandatory Patriot Baggage Declaration form. Get ready to sign a form at the airport, and this one's unlike anything you've seen before. Under the Trump administration's proposed air travel overhaul, every passenger would have to sign a new document called the Patriot Baggage Declaration before going through security. On the surface, it might seem like just another form, like customs or arrival slips, but dig a little deeper and the meaning changes fast. This form would legally confirm that everything in your carry-on aligns with American values and lawful intent. What does that mean? That's where it gets murky. The language is vague, and that opens the door to all kinds of interpretations. Security agents would be given legal backing to inspect, confiscate, or investigate anything they consider suspicious, whether it's a book, a piece of clothing, or even a sticker with a political message. Refuse to sign the form? You won't be allowed through security. No exceptions. It's not optional, it's required. That means no boarding, no trip, nothing. It doesn't matter how far you've traveled to get there. This rule has sparked serious concern among civil rights groups who warn it could be used to silence political expression or target specific communities. The worry isn't just about what's in your bag, but what your belongings represent. And in a time where something as simple as a slogan on a tote bag can be seen as un-American, travelers have every reason to tread carefully. So what can you do to protect yourself? First, document everything. Before you zip up your carry-on, take clear photos of what's inside. That's your evidence if anything goes missing or is flagged unfairly. Next, think twice about packing anything that could be misunderstood. Controversial books, protest gear, or political memorabilia might cause more trouble than they're worth. This isn't fear-mongering, it's foresight, because at the end of the day, this new form isn't just about safety, it's about control. And the smartest travelers will know how to navigate it without getting caught in the crosshairs. Number 6. Biometric tracking of your belongings. Imagine your suitcase knowing your face, voice, and fingerprints, and reporting them to a federal database. That's not science fiction anymore. It's part of the proposed future of air travel. The Trump-backed TSA changes include something called biometric baggage matching. In simple terms, it means every carry-on you bring could be linked to your biometric data, facial recognition, voice scans, or fingerprint records. This system is designed to match bags directly to the passenger, adding a layer of identity confirmation that follows your belongings through every part of the airport. Security officials say this is about speeding up screening and preventing baggage mix-ups. But critics warn it's a massive step toward constant surveillance. Your carry-on isn't just a bag anymore, it's a digital signature of you. Here's where it gets real. Once your bag is linked to your face or fingerprint, any item inside that bag is automatically your legal responsibility. If something gets flagged, even if someone else put it there, you'll be held accountable. That means helping a friend or carrying items for others isn't just risky, it could be dangerous. Even more concerning is the permanence. These biometric records could be stored for years, and while officials say they won't keep data longer than necessary, that definition isn't clearly defined. In the wrong hands, this information can be used beyond airport security, raising questions about privacy rights and data misuse. So how do you stay safe? First, if the option is available, always request a manual screening instead of biometric scans. It might take longer, but it gives you control. Second, use RFID blocking covers for passports, credit cards, and smart devices to avoid unauthorized scans. Lastly, never carry anything for someone else unless you're 100% sure what it is. In this new system, your bag won't just say something about where you're going, it'll say everything about who you are. And that's a lot of power to hand over, especially when the rules are still being written. Number 5. Real ID goes live nationwide, May 7th, 2025. This isn't a drill. Starting May 7th, 2025, if you don't have a Real ID, you're not getting through TSA, no matter where you're flying. The Real ID Act isn't new. It's been in the works for years, delayed several times, but now it's finally happening. Under this rule, all travelers aged 18 and above will need a Real ID compliant driver's license or another approved form of ID, like a passport or military card, to pass through airport security, even for domestic flights. What makes a Real ID different? It's marked with a star or flag in the corner, and it's issued only after stricter identity verification at your state's DMV. That means showing up with your old license, even if it's not expired, won't cut it unless it has the proper marking. Here's why this matters. As of right now, millions of Americans still don't have a Real ID. And on enforcement day, those travelers could be turned away at the checkpoint, losing their flights, their hotel bookings, and possibly missing major events. Airports across the country are bracing for confusion. Some travelers will show up unaware, others will try to argue, but TSA agents won't have wiggle room. The rule is federal and firm. No real ID, no boarding. If you're still not sure whether your license qualifies, now's the time to check. Look for the small symbol in the upper corner. If it's not there, you'll need to visit your DMV and apply, sometimes with extra documents like your birth certificate or social security card. You can also use a passport, but if that expires or gets lost, you're out of options. This rule is one of the few that's confirmed and scheduled. There's no more waiting. If you've got a flight booked after May 7th, 2025 and don't have the right ID, your trip might end before it starts. Number 4. Delay is likely as TSA faces budget cuts. Airport lines might soon get even longer, and not because of more travelers, but because TSA may have less money to work with. According to recent reports, the Trump administration is considering shifting funds away from TSA and toward Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, to support expanded deportation efforts. That means money normally used for checkpoint staffing, screening tech, and traveler services might be redirected elsewhere. The math is simple. Fewer funds mean fewer officers, and with fewer officers, lines get longer, processing slows down, and stress levels rise. You might see fewer open lanes, more travelers funneled into one area, and longer waits to get through even basic checks. That's especially true during peak travel times like holidays or summer break. And it's not just about delays. With older equipment and fewer staff, the overall quality of screening could drop. That opens the door for missed threats or inconsistent checks, something no traveler wants to gamble with. Some airports are already showing signs of strain, with longer average wait times reported over the last year. If funding cuts are finalized, these delays could grow worse, and not just at major hubs like LAX or JFK, but also at regional airports that rely heavily on federal support. To prepare, travelers should adjust their timelines. That means arriving at least 2 hours early for domestic flights and 3 for international ones. It's also a smart time to enroll in programs like TSA PreCheck, which often have faster lines and less congestion, even when staffing is tight. Apps like MyTSA can show current wait times at your airport, giving you real-time info before you leave the house. These potential cuts might not be obvious at first, but the effects will show up where it hurts, in time lost, plans delayed, and patience tested. And the best defense is staying informed and staying early. Number 3. TSA PreCheck could get shaky. If you're one of the millions who rely on TSA PreCheck to breeze through security, brace yourself, because the stability of that privilege may be at risk. With recent leadership changes at TSA, including the sudden firing of Administrator David Pekoski, many traveler-focused programs are now in limbo. Pekoski championed PreCheck expansion and pay raises to retain security officers. Without his leadership, there's concern that these efforts might slow or be abandoned altogether. PreCheck was designed to make the airport experience smoother. Shorter lines, no need to remove shoes or laptops, and less invasive screening. But behind the scenes, it relies on staffing, training, and consistent policy enforcement, all of which could be impacted by budget cuts and restructuring. The absence of clear direction raises real questions. Will wait times increase? Will more travelers be randomly excluded from expedited lines? Will the program be scaled back? For now, PreCheck is still operating, but if you're a member or thinking of joining, be prepared for possible changes, especially during leadership transitions. If you rely on it for business or frequent travel, check for updates on TSA's official site before your next trip. Consistency is key at security checkpoints, and right now, consistency is what TSA seems to be losing. Number 2. Confusing screening from airport to airport. Flying out of Atlanta might feel totally different than flying out of Denver, and that inconsistency may soon get worse. One of the most dramatic proposals under the Trump administration is the plan to privatize airport security altogether. Instead of TSA officers running screening at every US airport, private contractors would take over, regulated by a new office under the FAA. Supporters claim this would cut costs and boost innovation, but for travelers, it could mean a whole new level of confusion. Private companies may use different scanning equipment, apply rules differently, or train staff with unique procedures. What's allowed in one city might be banned in another. This patchwork approach could make travel unpredictable, especially for those hopping between multiple cities. Imagine learning the hard way that your bag, which passed in Dallas, is suddenly flagged in Boston. The transition period would be particularly chaotic. As airports shift from federal to private control, expect miscommunication, delayed processing, and frustrated passengers caught in the shuffle. For travelers, this means staying alert. Check your airport's website before your flight. Understand that policies might not be one-size-fits-all anymore, and allow extra time for surprises at the gate. Uniform security might not be exciting, but inconsistent security is a headache waiting to happen. Number 1. Gender-based screening concerns returning. For non-binary and gender non-conforming travelers, the skies may be getting less friendly. In a shift that's already drawing backlash, the Trump administration has paused processing of passports with the X gender marker. Combined with leadership changes at TSA, there's growing concern that recent progress toward inclusive screening may be rolled back. Just a few years ago, TSA updated its system to better accommodate travelers whose gender identity didn't match traditional expectations. Those updates removed gender from some screening settings and added options for non-binary travelers in pre-check. Now, with those protections under review, travelers may face renewed scrutiny, especially if their ID doesn't match their appearance. This could lead to uncomfortable interactions at checkpoints, delays, or even denials. The impact will vary by location. Some airports are more progressive, others more conservative. But the uncertainty itself is the problem. People who just want to travel safely and privately shouldn't have to wonder if their identity will trigger extra searches. If this affects you, prepare in advance. Contact TSA Cares before your trip. Carry multiple forms of ID if possible, and document your experience so you can report issues. Everyone deserves to travel with dignity, but if these changes go through, it'll be up to travelers to protect that right, one screening at a time. Air travel in 2025 is shifting fast, and not always in your favor. But now you're equipped with the facts. From biometric scans to carry-on crackdowns, the new rules under Trump's TSA plan are changing how we pack, board, and fly. Some are already in motion, others are on the horizon. Either way, being informed gives you power. Drop a comment and let us know which of these rules would affect you the most. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more smart travel tips that help you stay ahead of the system. Safe travels, and remember, pack smart, know your rights, and always read the fine print.